All right, so you've heard a lot already, but there's more. When it comes down to this next part, it's very good. I think that some people, they really don't understand the magnitude of this, but you're able to access what we call equipment financing. Now, with equipment financing, this opens up a lot of doors, okay? The only caveat is you do have to have good credit for this to work, all right? But when it comes to equipment financing, you can have lenders that will finance a particular project that you need to get done, or a particular product that you need to purchase. So let's say, for example, you have trucks that you need to buy, or if you have some other type of inventory for your business that you need to have access to, okay? You're able to get the approval by just literally getting the invoice from whoever is selling you that product. They'll make sure that the product is legitimate in terms of the banking side and the deal is legitimate in terms of the invoice. And a lot of times you're able to qualify for the financing for that specific product or whatever it may be. Now, this is really good for those of you that are in the trucking industry. A lot of you who are even in other industries like the entertainment world, where you're able to, let's say you need to buy studio equipment, okay, and you don't have the funds to cover the cost. You need to buy film equipment. This works really well for that particular space just because you're able to get the approvals for that, and you can actually prove that, hey, I do need this for this business to work. Okay, so as you get access to, whatever different deal you need to do in terms of, let's say if it's for any type of camera or equipment or any type of setup in terms of your soundboards and all that stuff, you're able to get approved for the full amount or even close to the full amount. So let's say if it could be 85, 95, or even 100% of whatever you need to cover. So this works out well because in your situation, they do care about you having 2 years in business. So that's always going to come up, but we can always help you when it comes to building up your business history and credit and things like that. But when you have that history in terms of the business, as well as your personal and business credit are strong, you're able to qualify for a lot more. But there's always a catch. You have to make sure that what you're actually looking to purchase has some value, particularly if you default on the situation. Now, the money that you use for this, you're still the one guaranteeing all this, so you're still responsible. But the bank also wants to feel that whether it's you or whether it's the particular equipment that you needed to use for the lending for, that they can get their money back from either one of you. Okay, so in that situation, you want to normally use this for things that are going to be of high value, not for I want to buy a chair. That's not what we're doing. You want to use this for larger amounts of money that will put you in a much better situation than you are currently at the time. So when it comes to getting that equipment financing, it's important that you focus on larger situations, such as if you're looking for a truck or you need to buy a new car because you need to go do more business. This situation will put you in a best possible predicament. Why? Because when you do the equipment financing, everything will be on the business. Okay, so typically you see that reporting on the business credit and not on your personal credit report. Sometimes it can be on personal depending upon what bank it is, but a lot of times it's not. Because it's not on your personal credit report, you're able to actually get a lot more. What I mean by that is you can actually get several different pieces of equipment to kind of help grow the business. So if you need to get multiple trucks, if you need to get multiple cars, if you need to get film work, or film, items such as your cameras, your soundboards for recording or whatever it may be, you can actually stack it up and get as many as you need to help grow the business because it's not all on your personal credit report. So that gives you a lot more flexibility. Because normally what most people do is they'll get personal credit cards and they'll put all this on the personal, and then their card is maxed out. And now they're wondering why their score tanked and they can't fix it until they pay it back. Well, that puts a lot of pressure on the business to make sure that you make money back right now to pay off not just your day-to-day life, but also, the life of your staff and everybody else, and to also make sure you can pay off the personal credit cards. So in this situation, you want to make sure that you get the right types of items, right types of equipment that will actually help you all the way when it comes to making money. So you don't really use this for things that are not directly affecting making money. Okay, because if you're going to take out a loan and put the pressure on yourself and your business to pay that loan back, you want to make sure it's going to something that will actually pay you and not put you in a situation where you can't pay it back. All right, so all the lending that we speak about, always want to make sure that you have a real plan. So what are the steps you need to take? Look at exactly what is missing in your business from an equipment perspective that's holding you back. That if you had this, if you had that, it could actually open up another door that you can access this other level of income. Okay, so those things are needed. Let's say if you're in the restaurant industry and you need to get, a certain amount of chairs in that situation. Well, maybe that could work because you do need chairs to have your restaurant. But if you're just saying, hey, I just need a chair to sit on while I'm in my office, it's probably better you just use your own money to do that. Okay. So if you do need to do anything that's like in a large amount, especially like if you have a larger contract or a larger setup that you need to accomplish and make sure that everything's there, then you want to get as much access to the equipment financing as possible. Now, this works because you can do, like we talked about before, the SBA microloan. You can have, or an SBA 7A loan, as well as you getting the business lines of credit and the equipment financing are all separate, meaning that you can have all of them at the same time, as well as the invoice financing. So they're not mutually exclusive to you having them only, meaning sometimes other lending, people just kind of pick, okay, I'm just going to have this type of lending, or the bank may put a requirement that you can get other loans or other lines of credit elsewhere. For example, if you're doing an SBA loan and you get approved for, 100, 200,000 or whatever it may be more difficult to get another SBA loan under the same name in terms of your business name. So in this situation, when you have the ability to get equipment financing, it allows you to get as much as you want without any of those restrictions at all. So again, requirements, you want to have a 700 score to make sure your score is as strong as possible, but also choosing the right type of product or equipment that you need to use it for, 100% very important. They will ask for the invoice, so make sure that you have that, and they will ask you for other information about the seller just to make sure that everything is legitimate, because some people will try to get like their friend down the street to say, yeah, I'm selling you this crazy product and I'm pricing it at this number, will you give me the money? They're going to look through that. They've seen enough of that, so don't even waste your time trying to pull a fast one. Okay, but when we do this, you have the right strategy. We like to get all of these different options working for you at the same time, so that way when it comes to financing, you have a full financial picture. This is why, as I said before, it's about banking, because you can get all of this done at once, and now you have all these strong relationships with different banks. So when you need to get more money, you can keep going back and getting more and more and more as you grow. So that's exactly how we want to make sure you're structured going forward.